Alrighty, you guys, so today we're out here in the pretty coldness. It's not really cold though, it's actually pretty warm, I believe. It's like supposed to get up to 50 degrees, or not 50, 40 degrees today. And today this video is going to be about flipping and how to get good at flipping targets. And flipping is one of my favorite things to do, and you know, it catches big bass, it catches all kinds of bass. The two bass that are in my pond over there are actually caused from flipping a rodent and a rage bug. So that's pretty cool. I actually caught those fish flipping. But today I wanted to show you guys how I get good at flipping, especially during these type of months. You know, you can get all bundled up if you want to. With me, I was sitting in there and I was sweating like crazy, so I was pretty warm in there, so I decided I was just going to step outside for a little bit and grab my grab my bait caster and grab my jig. I'll show you guys what I'm using. This here got some snow on it, but let me get all that snow off. This is a Strike King Denny Brauer structure jig, and it's in like, what is it called, candy crawl color or something like that, hard candy or something like that. And it's basically green pumpkin with purple, and then I got a full rodent on it. It's a big 1 ounce jig with a full rodent. Sorry about that. Using a Rhino Indestructible. It's a 6-foot rod. I measured it the other day. It was 6-foot rod. It's a medium rod with a Shakespeare Agility bait caster, and it's actually, I think it's a 6-3 to 1, right? Nope, 6-2 to 1 gear ratio. Agility by Shakespeare, and I'm pretty sure this is 50-pound or 30-pound braid. I don't know why, but I can't remember. But anyway, yeah. So how I get good, point at the cone, Bo. You guys see that cone there? Now say that I'm wanting to get it on the left side of that cone. I just use the rod to aim it. Boom. Well, that was there just a little bit short. Right there. Just like that. That cone is a tree stump. Let's pretend that cone is a tree stump right now. Basically, that cone is a tree stump. There's some fish around it. You know there is. I mean, it's structure. There's always going to be fish around structure, especially a big stump like that. So you just take it and you go. Now you can go like this here. You can do that, or if you're a more experienced person, which I don't usually do this, I like having all the control I can. You can go like this, take your line, go like this, point it over there, but you can hold your line and then just drop it like that. I don't really like doing that because it's a little bit less control over where your bait's going. I like being able to push the button and just flip it right into that spot. And I've gotten to where I can flip it to where the jig will wrap around the stump to where it'll go all the way behind the stump. And that's one of my favorite things about flipping, is you can get all the way around the stump to where you can catch the big fish. And I've seen people catch 9, 10 pounders doing this. And I've seen people catch 12 inchers. I've caught 12 inchers, but I've also caught 4 pounders doing this. I actually caught a 4 pounder doing this one time at a very hard to fish pond. But you know, you just flip it right in there. Hey bud, this is what I want you to do. Let me see the camera. Come over here, bud. Come over here. And stand about right here, I think. Ought to be alright. Stand there. Make sure you can get both the steps with me standing on and the cone. See if you can get that. Can you get the cone in it? Can you? This is how I like to flip. You grab the jig, you just lightly toss it right there. You can just do that right there. Perfect little spot. You can see where I've tossed it multiple times right there by that cone. Just target practicing. And if you're wanting to get a little bit more distance, you can also flip right out there. You see that box? I got that box set out there to where I can flip it in as well. You get it to where you can flip to that box. You know you're doing pretty good, you know. And you can get to where you're flipping to where you're making flips 10, 20 yards away. Boom, right there. Come here. Come here real quick. Bring the camera here. Let me see the camera. So you guys can see where I'm standing at. I'm standing on here. Max, hold it. Hold this. Hold that rod. We're going to walk over here. Okay, we're going to walk over here for just a second. I was aiming at this yellow bucket. This little yellow bucket. And look where that jig landed. Right there. That's exactly where I wanted it. You can get to where you're hitting literally inches to exactly where you're wanting to hit if you can get out and do this. Now me, I usually get out here and do this once a day. I've been doing it for like once a day every week. Go ahead and take that. Let's get back if you want to. But I just love to flip. I love flipping. And of course, you know, you can also, if you wanted to, you can make small little casts. But I like to flip, just like that. Look at where that jig landed. Zoom in on that hole in that box. See where that jig landed? Right there? Right there. Go ahead and zoom out. But I love flipping because you can get all the way back in behind that cover and you can catch big bass. And if you get accurate enough at it, you can do really good. I love flipping jigs mainly. You know, just being out here doing this target practicing, I would much rather have a jig instead of a Texas rig. That way it don't tear up all your plastics. This rodent has been on this jig since I bought it, and this rodent is still 100% ready to go. And if I wanted to go out fishing, if the water is unfrozen, obviously, I could take this jig and go out and probably catch fish with it if I wanted to, or if I could, you know, depending on if the fish are biting. But that's one thing that I've always caught fish doing, is flipping. I've never not caught fish flipping. Anytime that I really want to go out and go flipping, especially during the summertime, during the heat of the day, you know, if I get to go out and they're just not biting top water, they're not biting frogs for some reason, they're just not biting anything, just throw on a flipping bait, like a rodent really works, a pit boss also works. Another good bait is actually a little shad swim bait, believe it or not, and really catch good fish. I actually caught about a 4-pounder there at the end of October, flipping it on a Texas rig with about a 3/4 ounce weight, or no, it was a 1/4 ounce, not 3/4. It was a 1/4 ounce weight on a Texas rig, just flipping a swim bait up in a tree, and I actually caught a pretty good bass. So yeah. How long is the video right now, bub?
7.
7 minutes? Alright, I think that's about good enough. So basically, you know, you can get out here. Most places around the world have snow right now. Some places don't. If you don't have snow and you can go out fishing, you're lucky. But here, you know, we got, well, the other day we had, it's all melted pretty much now. There's about maybe 2 inches of snow left. We had about 6 or 7. But yeah, you know, if you can get out, if it's not super cold, like here it's like 30-something degrees. Still a little bit too cold for me to be out here doing this, but you know, whatever. You know, you can get out here, make some targets. If you already have set targets like that post, that cone was already there. So that box was a pretty new target. You know, you just set your targets and you can sit there and flip and flip and flip until your targets, until you can't see the targets anymore. You know, you can flip until dark. You know, another target went right over here at this little post. Another good target right there. Right there's that jig. It landed right there. This is good for close combat. It's always good, just like if you're bow hunting. If you're bow hunting, you want to have targets at all different ranges. That target there is probably about 5 yards. That target over there is about 6 or 7. That box target is about maybe at 10. And that post is about, I'd say that's about 11 or 12. And if you have another target, like if you guys see that yellow bucket that I took the camera over to, that one there's probably closer to 15, maybe even closer to 20. And I've hit that bucket many a times. There's another jig spot. I landed it right next to that bucket in the same hole. You know, you can get good at flipping. And most people don't really flip all the way out there to 20, 30 yards like that. But, you know, it's always good to be able to, especially if you're on the bank. You know, because I fish a lot on the bank. And there's a tree out there 20, 30 yards away. And all you got is this good little jig. Flip it right out there, boom. Landed right in that middle of that tree. And you can catch big bass doing it. So, I hope you guys like this little video of showing you guys how to flip, how I like to flip, how I learned to flip, and I actually used to learn how to flip with a spinning rod, and I may do a video on that. Leave a comment down below if you want me to do a video on how I started flipping also with a spinning rod, because I just learned how to do this with a bait caster about a month ago. So if you guys want me to do a video on flipping with a spinning rod and how I used to do that, let me know down in the comments, and I will 100% get to doing that. I'll probably do it later. I might just end up doing it anyway.
10.
10? Alright. So I hope you guys like this video. If you do, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Just got back to 137, I believe, or 138, something around there. So, yeah. Just got back to a pretty good sub count. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a like, and goodbye.